Anime is logical. Every day people seem to be becoming more critical of anime material, that being episodes and chapters. People love to cherry pick certain things from some stories but not do the same for other. That leads to misconstrued ideas about anime and manga. Natsu wins a fight, it's an ass pull and a friendship power-up. If Naruto dies, meets the Sage of Six Paths in another realm, we find out he's the reincarnation of one of his sons. It's an ass pull and ruins the theme of the story. People need to understand that stories aren't always what you'd like to call logical. Part of what makes stories so interesting is that these random, unrealistic things happen. Going back to the Dragon Ball Z days, there's no logic in Goku coming at the right time to save his friends, him transforming at the right time after he should have stayed down, and getting massive amounts of energy boosts when his opponents do the same. There's no logic behind Luffy and the Straw Hats surviving Sabaody, getting saved by Kuma, or Luffy surviving Crocodile's desert wrath. There's no logic in Yusuke coming back from death with Mozoku blood, or Naruto drawing Nine Tails energy at the perfect time, Ichigo using one of his sword techniques to win a fight conveniently. There isn't any logic behind all of these things. It has everything to do with just the story, how the story moves on, how the story progresses. You can't develop characters, have characters win fights without these random events taking place. And logically speaking, half the time, some of these things would not happen in the real world, even if we trained for these things. What about at the last second, this shit didn't work? What if truly Double 4 from the fucking Mist Village was not cut out to be a ninja and I just simply sucked at I had like a fucking arm infection? That would render me more useless than 1010. These crazy things happen in stories not only to make things interesting, but to simply fucking have the story. Do you think when my ass is getting raped on that basketball court, I'm just gonna enter the zone because of a flashback? No, my ass is going home, entering the shower, butt-ass naked, all depressed. The fact of the matter is, we're not anime characters. Our physics, our laws don't always apply to the anime universe. Things happen by chance in stories, simply for the stories that have nothing to do with logic that would never happen in the real world. If I was getting jumped in the streets of Compton, you better believe my ass ain't gonna kamehameha nobody. Now, granted, good story writers do know how to make things unpredictable. They do know how to surprise their readers. Good story writers won't rely on the same characters or things to get their characters out of bad situations from time and time again. Hiro Mashima. But the fact of the matter is, all mangakas, especially in shonen battle manga, have done just that, and they will continue to do so till the end of the story. Natsu Dragneel being bound stronger than all of his opponents, kicking his opponent's asses with his fire power-ups, getting boosts from his fucking friends, simply means he's a dominant character and he was made to be one. Dominant characters aren't for everyone. Attack on Titan and Berserk were made for a reason. These two stories apply logic and realistic elements more than many other stories do. You don't know if the characters in these stories are going to get eaten. But in the case of most marketable battle shonen manga that make it anywhere, you're gonna be missing some of that. I definitely say Oda has avoided doing many questionable things with One Piece. Oda keeps power scaling a big thing. But how many characters that should have died in One Piece ended up being alive? You can't simply apply the rules of our world and the way things work, the way we all have bad luck, and say One Piece is just wrong for having that. Oftentimes, a shorter 26-episode anime can tell a fluid story without dealing with many of these problems. But the longer the story, the more repetitive events that keep going on, and people are gonna get with the program, they're gonna expect you to surprise them. They're gonna expect things to become unpredictable. And there's nothing more to it. How did Trunks destroy the mighty Frieza and his even mightier father, who's supposed to be stronger than him, in about an episode's time? Plot. To have progressed the Cell Saga, they would have had to eliminate those enemies. They had nothing to do with Dr. Gero's motives, the motives of the androids, the motives of Cell. Logically speaking, right now, with Madara's current abilities, he could destroy the Naruto-verse easily right now. He could just start encloaking the world in Rinnegan abilities, he could bring meteors from the fucking ground, he could bring out his perfect Susanoo. Enough said. Blackbeard from One Piece might have been able to put things to an end at Marineford, just like Zedef in this very Tartarus arc. Point is, Double4anime's ass is not entering the zone. I'm not coming back from fucking death with Saiyan abilities. I'm not going to draw from my Nine-Tails store of power at the right time. I'm not gonna get saved by Kuma when the entire world government's against me. And while there is logic in stories, don't expect your fucking rules, your fucking physics in this very world to match that of any other universe. Moving the story forward over logic.